these depositions could be used against him. It's one of the things that they were fighting for to get this conviction overturned. Again, this is not actually about whether or not he did what he was accused of doing. I think it certainly appears that he did, right?
Right.
This is about the procedural moves made by prosecutors in trying this case. So
It's so frustrating for the victims, man.
So basically they say, okay, well, we have these statements from depositions from whatever it was at the time 15 years ago, and we're going to use this as evidence against him. However, he only made those statements because the prosecutor at the time was not going to file criminal charges against him. He didn't think that that could be used against him, so he went ahead and admitted to things that he wouldn't otherwise have admitted to.
Okay, and now it's prediction time. How long before someone has the hot take? The whole reason he was in jail this long was because of the color of his skin.
It may have already happened. Oh, I think it has happened. What's the guy's name? Is it Wyatt?
And his lawyer?
Not his lawyer, but his spokesperson.
Well, whoever that was with the blue suit on was out there waving his arms and
Yeah,
pointing at Cosby and,
they've been arguing that, he's been the victim of systemic racism.
I'm talking about maybe from national media.
No, I don't think so.
You don't? No. Bill Cosby would speak in terms of, let's just say, conservatism at times.
Yeah.
That a lot of people in the black community did not like. Because he was very much like, you're acting like fools. Pull up your pants. Stop breaking the law. I'm paraphrasing all this, but that was sort of the message. We as a people are shooting ourselves in the foot, and there were a lot of people saying, Bill, you need to shut up. So it was this weird thing when he was first accused. There were a lot of conservatives defending Bill Cosby.
Yeah.
At the time. Saying, I don't know, it's just some woman saying something. We don't really know. And then there was more and more evidence. And it seemed like there was no one defending him. But I don't know that all of a sudden you have, the woke crowd, welcoming Bill Cosby with open arms. That would be hard to see.
I don't know.
But who knows? Okay, that's easy.
Okay, look, if you are invited to Bill Cosby's prison release party, make your own drinks. All right, that's all I'll say.
I would.
Well, they were holding him. They were like walking him through, so I think he is almost blind. I'd heard that before.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's not in good health.
No.
Well, and people were like, really? We didn't know this before, but all of a sudden he's going to court and he's got the walking stick.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, how much of this is for a fact?
Right,
Because you've seen this before.
Well, yeah.
Right. All right, switching gears.
I wonder if Theo will be there when he gets home.
Time for a Cosby Show reunion.
NBC's probably putting it together right now.
Well, we got to talk about the CDC and about vaccines and about, got to have a booster. Wait a second, maybe not.
Oh, yeah. I wonder how long this bold prediction is going to last. I'm guessing, 2-3 days, something like that. That's the norm whenever the CDC director, Rochelle Walensky, says something. On the Today Show this morning, she said, you probably won't need a booster shot for COVID. This was on the Today Show. Savannah Guthrie has the setup here.
A lot of private doctors are telling their patients who got the J&J one-shot dose, go ahead and get a booster shot. Go get a Pfizer. Go get a Moderna. Is that okay with you? Do you think that that's a good recommendation? Should people do that?
Thank you, Savannah. So let me clarify this point as well. Right now, we have no information to suggest that you need a second shot after J&J, even with the Delta variant. Generally, people are agreeing that they anticipate that the J&J will perform well against the Delta variant, as it has so far against other variants circulating in the United States.
Okay, with the J&J.
Yes.
We've also heard, though, with Pfizer and Moderna, that probably not going to need the, added booster like they had initially said, right?
Right.
Well, they didn't initially say it. That was after a few months.
Yes.
And now they're saying you're probably not going to need that either.
And I do wonder, though, again, how long this prediction will hold, because, it's been an emotional roller coaster with the CDC director, and I resurrected that montage we had of her going back and forth over the course of like 5 weeks, doom and gloom, and everything's looking good.
Yeah.
I'm going to reflect on the recurring feeling I have of impending doom.
Vaccinated people do not carry the virus, don't get sick.
The answer to that is to really close things down, to go back to where we were last spring. Schools can safely reopen. Right now, I'm scared.
It's possible to reopen schools safely without all of the teachers being vaccinated. Teachers should be prioritized. Schools should be full-fledged, in person.
There's still more than 10 seconds left in this. She goes out, and in my mind, she speaks the truth, and then the officials call her back in. No. We're so sorry, Smolinski. You got that one wrong. You're going to have to go back, and tomorrow we're going to set you up with A, B, and C as far as, the press is concerned, and you're going to have to give a different message, okay? But go on.
There's a lot of work that we need to do in order to get our children, our schools to a safer environment.
We have all longed for this moment when we can get back to some sense of normalcy.
But you're hearing a lot of schools saying, the kids are going to have to be masked up.
Of course.
All of this doesn't make sense.
Nope.
And there are still some people that if you bring up so much of this has not made sense, well, I mean, you got to follow the science. These aren't science deniers. Knock it off. The messages, and it shows up in polling. The American people know. It's been all over the place. You don't know what to believe. All that we know for sure is you can't depend on these people to shoot you straight the first time.
Right.
And if they try to say,
give tinnitus suppression, I don't know. Ron, have you seen patients with tinnitus? We got a call earlier about questioning whether it could be related to the vaccine. I think, we probably need a couple 100,000 patients to figure that out. I personally don't think so, and what I've seen from the virus is way worse than the vaccine. I don't know. What are your thoughts on tinnitus? What do you tell your folks?
Yeah, sure. Hey, Carla. Nice to have you on the line. Yeah, I also, have tinnitus that's intermittent and comes and goes, and I think that's very common. I think a lot of people who have tinnitus, it does come and go. It's awesome that she got to 91 and never experienced it before then, because a lot of people, start with it later. But I think that's very typical. I think the most concerning thing, that I heard you say is that her hearing was diminished significantly at the same time. And in that case, it's actually really important probably to go and have a hearing test and have someone look in their ear as soon as possible, because if you have a sudden hearing loss, and certainly with tinnitus, it probably a hearing test would be a worthwhile thing to do. It's interesting about, the vaccine and I've heard chatter and, seen people talking about, does the vaccine cause tinnitus? Does it cause hearing loss? And, there's been some discussion, among physicians in our specialty about it. And I think, like Dr. McMinley said, it's going to take looking at a lot of data to figure out, is this, is sudden hearing loss, or is tinnitus, is this just normal, regular tinnitus and changes in hearing that occur all of the time, and they just happen to have the vaccine, or is the vaccine something to do with it? But yeah, I think a hearing, going to see someone to look in the ear and have a hearing test would probably be really worthwhile in this situation.
Does your mom currently wear hearing aids, Carla, or she not needed them?
No, I'll tell you, she has slight hearing loss in one ear. She had what's called osteoporosis of the bone in one ear. So they did it.